Hello friends, it's Lisa and welcome to a little weekend reading vlog. I have never done, I don't think, on my channel a weekend specific reading vlog before, so we'll see how this goes. Hopefully I get a lot of reading done. Also, I don't know if you can see in the corner here, we have a little friend, Mr. Sam. I don't even know if you can see in the camera. I will zoom in if you can. But yeah, it's actually the 29th of July right now. It's Friday, and this weekend's gonna be the last few days of July, which is kind of why I want to do a lot of reading. I want to kind of get all of the current reads that I have done before August, kind of start a new month fresh. But also the 1st of August is going to be the start of the Magical Readathon, Autumn Equinox. It's a month-long readathon, and I want to be able to finish what I'm currently reading so that when that readathon starts, I can just start right in on my TBR for that. So I kind of want to finish everything I'm currently reading before August. We'll see if that happens. I'm reading like 3 different things right now, so we'll see. One book is an audiobook and another book is almost complete, so I feel like I could do it. But the TBR for this weekend, the books I'm going to try and finish. First, People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This is a romance book following Poppy and Alex, who met in college and became really close friends. And each summer they started taking these summer trips. So we are kind of in this book going back and forth between flashbacks to various summer trips that they've taken and the present day, where the summer trip that they went on 2 years ago, something happened that caused them to not really talk anymore, and their friendship has kind of fizzled out a little bit. So in the current timeline, Poppy reaches out to Alex and sees if he wants to do one more summer trip to kind of fix what has happened with their friendship. So yeah, in the current timeline, we're seeing this vacation that they're going on, trying to get by the awkwardness, maybe fix this friendship that has kind of fizzled out over the past couple of years, while also getting the flashback chapters to previous summer trips and seeing their friendship and everything kind of become what it was. So I was pretty skeptical going into this book just because so many of my friends do not like this book. Some despise it. It's like their least favorite book ever. So I was nervous going into it because I wasn't really sure if I would enjoy it. I did enjoy Beach Read by Emily Henry. I love that book so much. I still think about it like every day. So I was like, maybe I'll enjoy this. And I've seen people who didn't really love Beach Read love this one. So I wasn't really sure where I was gonna fall with this, but so far I'm liking it, and I'm so sorry to the people I'm upsetting by saying that. But yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I definitely don't love it as much as Beach Read. As much as I'm trying not to compare it to Beach Read, I definitely am not feeling as connected with the characters and the romance as I was with that book. But I think Beach Read is probably just like one of my favorite romance books that I've read, like, of all time. Even though I haven't read that many still, like, it's definitely like one of my top favorites. So I wasn't really expecting this to top it, but I still really like the characters and their romance. Like, I don't know, I'm having a good time. I'm also annotating it, which I don't know if you can see those tabs. I'm a little sad that I used my neon tabs because I wanted to use the new stuff that I got that are more like pastel colors, but I feel like the neon tabs kind of worked with this cover and how bright it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm annotating it, which must be a good sign. There's lots of tabs for like funny moments, moments I love between the two characters, and quotes and things that are like relatable to me. So I don't know, I'm liking it. I'm not loving it. Like, Darian and I, we were trying to buddy read this, but she read it in like a day because she had the audiobook, and I did not do that. I simply can't trust Casey and Darian with Emily Henry buddy reads, because me and Casey were supposed to buddy read Beach Read, and Casey read it in also like a day or two, and I was like, I've read a page. Like, I am either a slacker or they are just too speedy for me. But she has finished it and she gave it 5 stars. I don't know if I'm going to give it that high of a rating. I don't know if I'm enjoying it that much, but I feel like it's going to be a relatively high rating. Like, I'm having a good time. So I have, I think, yeah, like just under 100 or so pages. And I'm hoping to maybe finish this today, and then the rest of the weekend can be dedicated to the other books. So yeah, this is the first book I'm going to try and finish, and I would like to finish it today on Friday, so then the rest of the weekend I can focus on reading other things. So I'm also currently reading City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. This is the 5th book in the Mortal Instruments series, and it's also the July book for the Shadowhunters read-along, so I would like to finish it in July. And with this, I'm on page 210. I'm on chapter 10. So I've read a decent amount of it. I'm like almost halfway through the book, and this is going very, very quickly, as all Shadowhunter books do for me. So I'm hopeful that I can finish it this weekend, even though it is a little bit chunkier. It's like over 500 pages, but I think I will be able to read it in the span of 2 days, hopefully. And I mean, so far, I'm liking it. I remember really liking this book when I originally read the series. I apparently only gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but I remember it being like one of my favorites from the Mortal Instruments series, so I'm excited and nervous to see if I feel the same. So far, I'm definitely liking it more than City of Fallen Angels, which was the 4th book, which that book, like, nothing really happened, and it was setting up a lot of what was going to be happening in this book and also, like, the final book in the series, so I am liking that this one a lot more is happening, and we're starting to see, like, the consequences of what happened in the 4th book actually start to actually happen, and there being some sort of action within this book. So I'm excited to see how I kind of end up feeling about this. I'm liking it so far, so we'll see by the end, but this is going to be the next physical read, and hopefully I will finish this before August as well. And for the 3rd and final book that I'm currently reading and want to finish this weekend is my audiobook, and that's The Henna Wars by Adiba Jagadar. I think I've only listened to the first couple of chapters. I'm 7% in, so not very far at all. But this audiobook is only like 8 hours long, so I should be able to finish it by the end of the weekend. I think it'll go quickly. And like I said, I'm not super far, but I do know this book is following these 2 girls that both start their like henna businesses, and I think they become rivals because of it. So it's like a rivals to lovers sort of situation. So excited to see where that all goes. I've kind of realized more recently that I definitely need to be a little bit more particular about which YA contemporaries I'm picking up. I want to be picking up ones that are ones that I am like really confident that I'm going to enjoy. I think just because YA contemporary as a genre is just not something that I'm loving anymore, which makes sense because I'm not in the YA age demographic, so some of these contemporary books just aren't going to work for me, and that is okay. So I think when I do pick up YA contemporaries, I need to be a little bit more particular about it, but I have heard so many good things about this one. I go on Goodreads and I look at my friends' reviews and I see nothing but 4 and 5 star reviews of this book, so I'm like pretty confident that I'm going to enjoy this one, so I'm excited to continue on with that. So yeah, the Henna Wars and City of Lost Souls, as well as People Who Meet on Vacation, are on the TBR for this weekend. I think I can do it. I think I can finish it, but I'm hoping that this vlog continues to motivate me to do so. And other than my reading plans, I really do not know what I'm going to be doing this weekend. I know I have some plans tonight, going out to dinner and then going to a brewery, so that'll be fun. I don't really have any other plans for this weekend other than trying to get these books read. So hopefully this is enjoyable. Thank you for clicking on, thank you for watching, and welcome to a little weekend reading vlog. So I have just gotten myself ready to go out for the evening, get some dinner, go to a brewery or whatever our plan is, and I actually I don't know why, I just really like my outfit and everything. I think I like the way my makeup came out. I actually used the new bt21 and colourpop collab eyeshadow palette. I got a few things from the collection that came out, and the bt21 stuff is like the little characters that BTS made, and I got a few things, and then it was really confusing because I got 2 packages from Colourpop in the mail at the same time, and I was like, that's weird, I don't know why they shipped my packages in 2 different things. And then I opened one of them and I was like, I didn't order any of this, and it was my friend Franny. I feel like anytime I get something suspicious in the mail, something I didn't order, I usually assume it's her. But yeah, they sent me a few of the other eyeshadows and actually a lip gloss from the collection, and then I got a couple of the other eyeshadows and the eyeshadow palette. So I used that, which like this lighting isn't very good, so you can't really see it, but it's just like one color in the crease and then like a shimmer on my eyelid. Like that's it. But it was still fun to like use the new eyeshadow. It's always exciting when I get new makeup that I can kind of use for the first time. And for my outfit, I'm literally wearing just like a black t-shirt. I think it's from Old Navy. The like lock necklace that I have from Ana Luisa, and I'm wearing these like nude tan shorts. Squeaky chair, I apologize. That I think I got last summer from American Eagle, and it's just like, it's not very exciting. It's a very simple outfit, but I don't know, I'm just vibing with it. So I feel very cute, so love that. But because I am completely ready to go, and we aren't going to be leaving for, just under like 2 hours, we still have some time before we're going to be leaving, I think I'm going to spend that time reading People We Meet on Vacation. Like I said, I only have like 100, not even, pages left of this book, so I'm gonna try and see if I can finish it before I leave. I have no idea how late I'm gonna be out tonight, and also like I'm a granny, so if I'm out past like 9 p.m., normally I just get home and I go to sleep. But I just don't know if I'm gonna be feeling like reading when I get home tonight, so I figured I could take advantage of the time I have now to read this, maybe finish it, and then that will be one of the books done for this little TBR that I have this weekend. I'm a little nervous to read the ending because I feel like even people who like this book, but people who don't like this book, comment on the ending and things being a little dragged out and all of that, and I'm a little nervous because I'm definitely towards the end. Like I said, have like 100 pages left, so I'm a little nervous to see what ends up happening, but I think I am just going to get into reading this and hopefully finishing it before I leave. Hi, we are going to ignore everything about my appearance right now. Thanks so much. But I wanted to pop on, give some reading updates because I did finish People We Meet on Vacation yesterday. I did manage to finish before I left for the evening, so I was really happy with that, and I did end up giving this 4 stars. I liked it. I had a good time. There definitely were some moments that I really enjoyed between the two characters and the romance and everything, so I did like it. I just wasn't like completely obsessed with it, but I had a good time. I'm also sad because when I was bringing these books over to film this little update, I bent the cover of this, so I'm very upset about that. But yeah, I did annotate this, so like I had a good time. There's a decent amount of pink tabs in there. I also found this book pretty funny. I think there were some moments and some jokes and some lines in here that I was just like, okay, Miss Henry, but for the most part, I thought it was pretty funny. I definitely had some moments where I was tearing up, which was kind of unexpected. I think my biggest thing with this book is just like the third act breakup, the kind of conflict towards the end of the book, just because I have like mixed feelings on it, because I feel like I understand why these characters needed to separate and have these moments with just themselves to kind of figure certain things out. They both had a lot that they needed to deal with and figure out before they could really figure out where their relationship could kind of go. So I understand why that third act conflict kind of had to happen. I just don't really like the way it happened. It just felt a bit forced. I feel like the actual like argument and the miscommunication that kind of happened to cause this situation, I didn't love. It just felt a little forced. It felt like one of the characters was kind of not understanding what one of the characters was trying to say. The communication just wasn't going that well, and that just felt a bit forced. Like, to me, reading it just felt like clearly that's not what they're trying to say, so why are you taking it this way? But I also understand that they both had things that they had to like figure out, and maybe that's why they were interpreting it that way. It just felt a bit forced, and then it got to a point where I was just like, it kind of was dragging on a little bit too long. I was like, okay, anyways, like let's just get back to the point here. But really, other than that, I did like it. I had a good time, so I ended up giving it 4 stars. I don't know if I said that already, but yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm very happy I read it. I know a lot of people who have read like all of Emily Henry's like romance books. I feel like a lot of people, this is their least favorite. So I know some people love this book and it is their favorite, but I feel like a majority of people that I have seen, at least, this is their least favorite. So that makes me excited to read Book Lovers. I'm hoping Book Lovers, I feel more similar about that one like I did with Beach Read. Definitely still prefer Beach Read over this. I love Beach Read so much. I just keep mentioning it because I can't stop thinking about it. But yeah, I am happy that I read it and that I enjoyed it, because I know there are a lot of people that do not like this book, and I really wasn't sure if I was going to end up liking it or not. So I'm happy that I did end up enjoying it. As for the rest of the reading plans and everything, I have not done any reading yet today. It's like almost 3:30 in the afternoon, and I have just been a pile of goo on my bed all day. I just have not been with the program, you know? But I really do want to finish these books this weekend, so I do need to get reading. So I think me and Darian are going to do a little video chit-chat call with each other, because she's going to be on vacation next week, and Casey's also on vacation. Like, she's doing a road trip right now, and I simply don't know how I'm going to cope with both of them not being available to do our little Zoom calls and be able to chat with them, but I'm sure I'll survive. But yeah, me and Darian want to do like one last Zoom call before she goes on vacation, and won't be able to do them for a week. And maybe when I'm on the Zoom call, I will do some reading. I have not, like I said, done any reading, so I'm still on page 210 of City of Lost Souls, and I also have not listened to the Henna Wars at all yet this weekend as well, so I'm only 7% of the way through that still. And yeah, so I'm hoping to make some progress in this. Hopefully I can do some reading on the Zoom call with Darian, or even just like tonight after dinner and everything. I am getting a little bit nervous and I'm not going to be able to finish all of the things I want to finish this weekend, but it is only Saturday afternoon. I still have the rest of the day and all of tomorrow, so I still have a little bit of hope, but I am like, I need to actually start reading. I also played Animal Crossing for the first time in probably like a year the other day, so I kind of want to play that again. So maybe I'll play some Animal Crossing later on tonight and listen to the Henna Wars and get in some good time reading that then. But I definitely want to play Animal Crossing again at some point. I go in phases with that game where I'm like, I want to play it all the time, and then I don't play it for months and months. But yeah, that might be good to do while I listen to my audiobook. But I do want to make some good progress on City of Lost Souls today, because I still have like 300 pages or so left of this book, so I definitely need to make some progress. But I thought I would update you on all of the reading things, and I hope I made some sense during this update. I feel like I am not completely with the program, so I'm like, I don't know if any of this is making any sense. Hopefully it did. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go and see if Darian wants to do our little Zoomy Zoom, and then I will hopefully be spending the rest of the afternoon and the evening reading.
There's all one. Hello.
I wanted to capture the beautiful singing.
There's one. No, really. Well, now I'm nervous.
The hat makes it.
Get better. So can I have this? Can I have this dance? Can I have this dance?
Oh, exactly. Oh. Alright, hello. It is now Sunday afternoon. I wanted to give a quick update. Again, apologies for my appearance. It is Sunday. Sunday is a day for pajamas and pajamas only. But I have done a little bit of reading since I last checked in. I tried to read a lot more of City of Fallen Angels last night before going to sleep, but as I was reading, my eyes just kept closing. It was very difficult, so I didn't read a ton yesterday, but I've been reading all this morning. I'm now on page 340, which is the start of chapter 15. So hopefully I'll finish this today. I think I have like 200 pages left of this, so I shouldn't have any problems finishing it considering it's 2 p.m. So I have the rest of the day to finish this. I think I will. One of the few things I remember about this book in particular is the ending, so I kind of want to get to that point and see all of the excitement that happens. I did listen to more of the Henna Wars as well. I'm 46% of the way through that audiobook and I have 4.5 hours left, and because I'm listening to it on double speed, that's like just over 2 hours, so I also think I'll be able to finish this. I was like not quite sure yesterday if I was going to be able to finish all of the things, but now that I'm like close to being done with both, I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be no problem. So I think I'm just going to spend the rest of today reading, relaxing. We have no plans for today. My only plans are to read, and I'm very excited about it. Okay, it is now Monday. I'm going to wrap up this vlog here as the weekend is over now, but I'm very happy because I did manage to read everything I wanted to this weekend. So this vlog definitely helped motivate me. Having this to hold me accountable to read, it did work, but let's just quickly go over everything I read this weekend. So I firstly finished People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and I've already kind of talked about this. I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. Definitely not like a new all-time favorite romance, but I had a good time. I just didn't really love the way the conflict kind of came about in the 3rd act, but I did really enjoy it overall. And then I did finish City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare yesterday as well. I read like a decent amount of this book yesterday. I started on like chapter 12, I think. Let me see if I can find the page. Yeah, I started on chapter 12, so I read like over half of the book yesterday. So I think I did the math yesterday. It was like 270 something pages that I read yesterday. So I read a decent amount of this. I ended up leaving my rating as the same rating I gave it when I first read this book. So I gave it a 4 star. There definitely were things that I didn't love about this book, but I also feel like this book compared to City of Fallen Angels was so much better. There were things actually happening, and I still I think I kind of have an unpopular opinion, but I actually kind of enjoyed following Clary and Jace in this book. Like, I think the plot that they're kind of involved in this book is a little bit more interesting than it has been in the past for me. But I think that's kind of an unpopular opinion because I was looking at Goodreads reviews and not a lot of people, but some people were saying that Clary and Jace still weren't their favorites, and like, I understand it not being like your favorite storyline to follow. Like, I definitely enjoyed following one of the other kind of groups that we're following in this book because we are seeing the characters at very different points. There's like different groups of characters doing different things, and so Clary and Jace weren't necessarily my favorite storyline to follow, but I still like enjoyed, I guess, following them. Like, it wasn't completely miserable as it has been in some of the other books in this series. Sometimes when Clary and Jace would show up, I'd be like, okay, anyways, I'd rather be doing anything else. But I didn't mind following them in this book. But yeah, I mean, I had a good time reading it. I don't think I would have been able to read almost 300 pages of this book yesterday if I wasn't enjoying it. I know, like, I am kind of biased because I just love the Shadowhunter books in general, and going into these books in this world, it feels very comforting. Even if the Mortal Instruments series is not necessarily my favorite series out of all of the Shadowhunter books, it still is comforting to be in this world. So I just had a good time being in this world again, and also like, I already know what happens in these books. I've already read them before, so it wasn't like I was reading to figure out what happened, but I was definitely like sucked into the world and just didn't really want to put it down. Like, it was super easy for me to get really sucked into the world, and I just had such a good time. So I gave it 4 stars. Definitely have some problems. Excited to discuss it on the live show for this book, but I still overall enjoyed it, and the live show for this probably will be not happening until like the 2nd or 3rd week of August, because it is officially August 1st right now, and I'm the only one who's read it so far. So I don't imagine our live show is going to be happening for a little while, probably like mid-August. And finally, I did also finish The Henna Wars by Adiba Jagadar, which was my audiobook, and I also gave this 4 stars. It was a very 4-star weekend. But I really liked this. I really loved the more sweet moments and also how it balanced with the more difficult discussions or just like the topics that were kind of brought up in this book, because there are a lot of, you know, racist and homophobic characters in this book, and it can be very upsetting to read. We have Nishat, who is the main character. She not only is one of the few people of color in her school, but she's also a lesbian, and being a part of the LGBT community in a very Catholic school, and then also coming out to her parents and her parents not really accepting her. She's just having like kind of a difficult time this whole book. And then we have people being homophobic and racist to her. So it could be a very frustrating read at times. The racist and homophobic remarks thrown at her throughout this whole book was really frustrating to read, but I also think it was handled really well in the sense that a lot of these characters were kind of called out on it, or they, by the end of the book, kind of owned up to their mistakes and the things that they were saying and how that's not okay. I also really appreciated that the teenagers in this book, because this is a YA book about teenagers, they acted like teens. They didn't talk in a way that felt forced. It felt very much like teenagers and how they would speak. But also, I think a lot of these characters were not perfect. They were flawed. They made mistakes. They made bad decisions. And as frustrating as it could be to read them making these decisions, it felt very authentic to teenagers. And, you know, teenagers do not always make the right decisions. Teenagers don't always say the right things, do the right things. And it just felt like that was very realistic. Like, there were characters that were good people. They just didn't always make the right decision or do the right thing. And that's just very realistic. But yeah, I thought this was really great. I think such a great YA novel. I think it's important for young adults to have a novel like this to read, not just because of the great discussions and the difficult topics that were kind of discussed in this book and challenged in this book, but also it was just a cute romance and had its cute moments as well. And I also love learning about like henna and what that meant for Nishat's culture and everything. It was just really great to read about. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. I know this came out a couple years ago. It's very popular, but I gave it 4 stars and I really enjoyed it. So if you have not picked it up, I definitely would recommend doing so. But yes, I'm very happy that I managed to read everything I wanted to read this weekend, finishing both of these books as well as the Henna Wars. Very excited, and very excited that now it's August 1st, I can just start the month with my new TBR for the Magical Readathon and not have to worry about finishing any of my previous reads before getting into that TBR. Definitely let me know if you want to see more weekend reading vlogs in the future. Also, let me know if you've read any of these books, any of the 3 books I read this weekend, and your thoughts on them. I'd love to have a discussion about that in the comments. But I think that that is going to be it for this little weekend reading vlog. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.